Miss Transport96 here with just another video where I'm expressing my thoughts on a newly shown Hot Toys figure. This time it is the Age of Ultron Vision figure from Avengers. So this was a highly anticipated Hot Toys figure by many people, myself included. Was very excited to see this one and get him on pre-order so I could, anticipate his release. So overall, here are the official images. We did get two preview pictures. One where it was just him with a bunch of other Avengers figures that were on a desk. They were all facing the other way, so you could only see them from their backs. And then we did get an official preview image of just him, where it was just him like kind of flying in space, and it was really just his cape and the back of his head. Now, of course, we get the official images. Overall, I have to say I'm not super impressed here. Typically, Hot Toys always either at least meets my expectations or exceeds them as far as when they first show a figure. This time, it is, of course, not quite so, in my opinion. I don't like it very much. I mean, it looks fine, but it is quite disappointing, in my opinion. I have three main issues with it. My first issue is this head sculpt. Obviously, they're trying to capture the likeness of Paul Bettany with him in the makeup for Vision, which of course is a tough thing to do, and they really came out with a head sculpt that certainly looks like a human and everything. It just doesn't really resemble Paul Bettany. It doesn't really capture the way that he looked in the Vision costume. I don't like the face sculpt. I don't think it's quite right. As well as people have come out with side-by-side pictures that actually show that there's some wrong things. Like this line should go down more, or it should like go up. It shouldn't go touch the back of his head. As well as one of these, the chin lines, they should go like under his chin basically and come back up. So there's a couple minor differences with the actual design of the lines on his face from this one, and then just the overall design to me doesn't look like Paul Bettany very much, and that is quite unfortunate. And my second issue is the colors of the costume. I think that it's quite bright. In my opinion, the red in his face sculpt should be a very dark red with maybe a little bit of a purplish hue to it. While this, they went with a really kind of dark purple pinkish type of look. I think that his boots look a little bit more the way that I would have liked the entire face sculpt to be. So when we come around on pictures, I'll point that out. So that's another problem. I don't like the red paint that they used. And then his green looks quite bright. Yeah, like this is a nice red. It's a darker red, but it's not, it would have worked a lot better for this. Just looking at this picture of Paul Bettany, as you can see, this is of course in a dark room. Whoa. Oh, I set up, I'm doing a review for the movie just after this, and Black Widow, which I had on my table, just fell, so sorry about that. This is, I think that they should have definitely went with something darker, because even, him in broad daylight, he wouldn't have this pinkish look, which he has now, so I'm not a fan of the colors here. The green is too bright for me as well. I would have went with something lighter or darker. It doesn't look too good. The gold seems to be fine, and I do like the kind of shaded purplish that they have in the costume. I think that looks pretty nice. And then my third thing that I don't like is just something that has to do with these pictures. They seem to have his back very arched in every single one of these pictures, which I just think looks really odd. The only picture that I don't think it looks odd is this one right here. This one, his back should be arched up because he's flying like this. This is like taken basically from a direct scene in the movie where he's shooting a kind of laser from his head. So I think that looks really nice there. It's my favorite picture actually, because that looks perfect. But everything else, he's got this arched back which just looks strange. I don't like, in some, even here his back is arched back, or his back is arched quite a lot, and it just doesn't look good to me. So just one of my issues is just a personal one with whoever's taking these pictures, and then the other two images are actually problems I have with the figure. He comes with Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, which I've seen a lot of people complaining that like they spoiled something for the movie, and if you really care that Vision can hold Thor's hammer, I don't think that then you would have probably seen this movie within the first couple of days of it being released. And yeah, so I don't understand why anybody would be complaining about that, because if you haven't seen the movie by now, you're not going to care about getting that spoiled for you, so I'm not quite sure. Overall, I think it is a nice touch that he does come with Thor's hammer, though, considering, you know, he did use it twice in the movie, and it was kind of a shock moment as well, so I am happy that he does include Thor's hammer. It isn't die-cast, though, which is disappointing. I was kind of hoping for it to be die-cast, but whatever keeps this guy's price down works for me, because, you know, I have a die-cast hammer already, and maybe they want to, you know, save the die-cast feature of it for Thor figures, and probably for the next Thor that's coming out, which should be very soon. So he's on pre-order. He's $220, which was exactly what I predicted for this figure. I hit that right on the nose. And he's shipping December to February, which is, you know, a pretty reasonable time. Overall, I am not super impressed with this figure. I think that overall it's not as good as it could have been. Price is decent, but it's not like a good price. It's just, it's not over what it should be, basically. Because he is basically a Superman figure, except instead of the small key that Superman comes with, he has a hammer. So, you know, and Superman was 200, so I would have expected this guy to be maybe 205, but because Superman came out a couple of years ago, prices have gone up, which is why I came to the conclusion of 220. So it's basically what you would expect, and not anything insane, though. Personally, if I plan to get this, I do. This was definitely a must-have for me on my list for forever now, so this is, even though it's a little disappointing, it's not going to change my mind about getting him. But I'm a little disappointed. What I feel like is going to happen is I'm going to get this one because I can't wait for the next one. Civil War is going to come out, and that one's going to be a huge improvement, so I'm going to get that one. And then Infinity War Part 1, the Vision will come out, and I'll get that one because I'm assuming he's going to die in that. That's just my personal guess, because Thanos needs a stone, obviously. So my guess is I'll end up with 3 Vision toys, when really all I need is 1. But, you know, what I should do is wait for Civil War. So if you do have the same feelings as me, I would recommend that you wait until Civil War. Of course, Hot Toys will always improve upon their figures. Even if they do relatively the same thing, they'll improve on the face sculpt, or maybe slightly different paint, or just better accessories. So no matter what, it's going to be an improvement next year, and Civil War is only a year away. So if you can wait a year, I would suggest it. Personally, I'm not that patient, though. I gotta have Vision, so I'm very excited to get him, to basically have the character in my collection. I hope, though, that they do improve the face sculpt, and maybe he has a slightly darker color scheme when he actually comes out, the figure's released. Fingers crossed for that, because this is obviously just a prototype. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Vision. Overall, I am very excited to get him, although it was quite disappointing, and I really didn't expect it to be disappointing. I expected this to be one that I was just crazy excited about. But still, I do plan to get it, and I cannot wait to see the twins now. Now that we got Vision out of the way, the only things that are left that are confirmed are the twins, the Ultron Sentry, the Iron Legion, or the Legionnaires, and was there another one? I think that's it. I think that, oh, and Thor. So those are confirmed and still haven't hit pre-order yet. And then the ones that aren't confirmed, but everybody is assuming Hot Toys will do, is the Mark 45, as well as the Ultimate Ultron, the one from the end of the movie. So overall, I am very excited for all of that stuff to go on pre-order. I do plan to get all of that I just named off, except for Thor. I've got no reason to buy another Thor. So, but other than that, I do plan to get all the other ones that they haven't showed yet, and I'm very excited for all of them. So there you go. That's my thoughts on the Vision. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks for watching.